summer. Welcome,
Yes.
welcome, Mark. Welcome
Yes.
to Gunner's Firearms.
It's so good to be here. Thank you so much.
I
Thank you
definitely
so much. Yeah.
concur. You are welcome. It is really good to be here.
And
as
it's
well.
been a while too. Gosh, I haven't been here.
Last
Good
time
solid month. Yeah, it's been a month since I've been in here.
Everybody's like, "Hey, when you talk to Mark, when you see Mark," I'm like, "It's summer. I'll be busy. He'll be busy. It'll be months before, weeks and weeks.
Well, let's not let it go
we meet
so
up
long.
again."
And you were saying that because I asked when I first came in, I said, "How's everything going?" And you talked about how slow it was.
It's very slow.
Very slow. Now summer's normally slow, but this is a particularly slow summer.
It's not just slow here at our local store. It is slow for gun stores across the United States. It is slow for our distribution companies trying to move their product
Really?
across the United States. Oh, there's a lot of
So
packaging.
they're having a hard time getting it.
Okay. So now you're starting to see those, "Hey, we're dropping our prices on this stuff," which is absolutely awesome for people
Sure.
who are looking to purchase new firearms, because sometimes they're running sales where you can get things quite a bit cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
The bad news is that for everyone trying to sell guns, you have to beat that stupid low price because nothing is moving.
Gotcha.
And so if you paid a lot of money for something, you are not going to like the answers you're getting from people who are making you offers on your firearms.
To sell it back, essentially.
Yes.
Gotcha. Now-
It's not, and I hate to do this. I hate the slow season.
Well, it's supply and demand.
It really is.
High supply, low demand.
And it runs in a cycle every year.
Sure.
It runs in a 4-year cycle. There's an 8-year cycle for this stuff too. So if you just stretch it out on a long enough timeline, it all just keeps looping back around.
Now, what do you think? Because summers are normally, things slow down at the gun store anyway in the summer, but this is unusual. What is it about what's going on right now that you think that is the reason why gun stores are so slow?
So we've heard a lot of customers that are coming in looking to sell their firearms that the cost of living has increased exponentially within the last few years, and no one has that spare disposable income anymore just to buy extra guns, have extra toys, go on these range dates and everything, and just expend a bunch of ammo. Instead, it's like, well, my property taxes went up this year.
A lot.
Insurance went up.
A lot.
The cost of groceries and gasoline has gone up. So everything.
All those things, I'm like, trauma.
Like,
Trauma response. Stop, Maggie, stop.
I'm sorry. I know.
Kidding. It's terrible, but you're right. Everything is going up. And even the home assessments, your taxes right now, like in Jackson County, I think we're like 275% increase.
It was outrageous.
Like your home value quadrupled in just a month, and then now you got to pay taxes on it, property tax and all that. Well, and we were talking, we come in because there was you have a gun in the case, that Coonan 357. I was like, oh, that thing's so cool, and you were talking about buying it. We love that. But then we both went into this conversation of, but it's a high dollar item, and what else could you buy with it? What more practical things could you spend that money on? Whereas, I don't think we would have had that conversation a year ago.
No, I mean,
you would have been like, "That's cool, get it."
That was my husband's response to it too. He's like, "That's cool. You bringing it home? Happy anniversary!" And I'm like, "Oh my God, don't tell me that." There's other things. What could we use this money for? I'm fairly certain that's a hefty chunk of a down payment on a nice new car. At some point, I've seen firearms that are priced to the point where they really are a down payment on a house, a sizable 20% or more down payment on a house. But people are still like, yeah, don't need those firearms as much as I need to make ends meet and make sure the bills are paid.
Well, that's what I said. I was like, I like that gun, but I like having money more. But that's really, because my head has shifted into that in the last couple months. So it's interesting you even bring this up, that this is why people, because my head went there, like I was worried about money, income down, expenses up, everything went that direction to the point where you feel like you're drowning. And then when you finally get your head above water and you see those things that you haven't been buying, you still have to go, well, wait, we're not there yet. We're not quite there yet.
Is a difference between want and need. And knowing the difference between the two, you really do need to know that, and you need to shop carefully, especially if you are shopping at a gun store, because you might need that gun today. You might need that gun for the rest of your life, but if you're buying on a whim as a want, you're not going to get back what you paid. You're not that likely to get back what you paid for.
Well, and I think that's what we talked about. Like, again, we'll go back to the Kunin 357, 1911 there is super cool. But if it was just for nostalgia, like, oh, this is fun, it feels like just too much money. Whereas then if you were actually going to carry that gun on a regular basis, money well spent.
Yeah, very much so.
So I think it kind of, my guess is, and we haven't talked about this, but my prediction is you're probably selling more need guns than want guns lately.
And that'll pick up more, especially as we get toward hunting season. That'll pick up. That's probably not till later, but it's not a lot of people looking around to do a whole lot of buying now, though, as prices are falling, would be the good time on firearms. Prices are coming down a little just because product is not moving. Now would be the time to finish rounding out those collections when you see those prices start to fall, though. You need guns in the same way you need fire extinguishers and seat belts.
That's right.
Not because you have to have them every single day for every single thing, but in the event, rare, few, and far between, that something terrible does happen, something uncontrollable, maybe beyond your control, it's there when you need it.
And I think that's what people are doing is, because the guns are obviously way cooler than seatbelts or fire extinguishers. Way cooler.
Well, I don't know.
So there's no like, oh man, that's a cool fire extinguisher. I got to get that just so I have it. Because I don't need it. I just want to have it. So I think that people they're kind of getting rid of that nostalgia, or at least because me, as you were getting ready for the day, I just walk in, oh, look at that, look at that, look at that, ooh, look at that. But I'm ahead, I'm like, but I need groceries, I need to pay the bills, I need
gas for the truck, because it's much more expensive.
And I think most of America is there. Even the people that are well off are not as well off as they were this time last year. No. So I think everybody's kind of taken a hit. And they're having a hold back on the luxury. I mean, because I would argue that a gun collection is a luxury item. It really is a luxury item. Gun for self-defense, that's a need. That you need that. Everybody needs that. So yeah, interesting. Have you heard anybody talking about kind of this turning around? Like, what have you heard the customers talk about, if you don't mind me asking?
It will eventually. It just, how many years will we have to wait to see that turnaround? How many months, how many weeks is that going to take to come out of a recession? I'm not clairvoyant. I really could not tell you that, but I wish I could. It'll turn around when it turns around, and we just ride it out.
Well, for the sake of it being a little more relaxing on you and the sake of the gun prices going down, maybe it's not too bad. It's a little bit slow. Hopefully it picks up, though.
It will.
It will pick up. It always does. Because, again, guns are needs. They are needs. And many people, my guests, are still continuing to come in and say, I need a gun for X reason. So.
We're looking for my son, my daughter, my wife, my husband's first this, or what's most recently happened, well, my wife has decided that she's going to adopt my favorite carry gun because she likes it and she feels like she needs to have it. I'm glad she likes it. I'm glad she'll practice. I'm glad she'll use it. No, it's time to buy me a new gun. It's time to replace the one that was passed on from my collection.
Well, no, my wife kind of adopted my gun because she's now using that AT-84, that Swiss AT-80. So she's using my favorite Swiss gun. But I don't have a need to, I'm not like, well, I need to replace this now. Because I still have it, technically. You see what I'm saying? Like, if I wanted to go shoot it,
there's no replacing that gun.
No, that's true.
Just like there is absolutely no replacement for Miss Laurel. I'm so glad she found a good baby. And also, I'm really...
the best. She found the best.
Mad
it's a good
props
gun, yeah.
to you for finding that firearm, too, for enjoying it as much as you do and being able to pass that enjoyment on to your wife.
Just stumbled
That's
across it,
cool.
stopping for a restroom break at a gun store in the Ozarks. That's how you do it. That's how you do it.
We were just down in the Ozarks the other week, last weekend or whatever, and I can't tell you how many gun stores my husband was in charge of driving and just drove right past, and my face is pressed up to the window. I'm like,
there's some good ones down
can we go? Can we go? And he's, nope, we got to make time. We got to go.
Yeah, I was down there the same time you guys were down there. Next time you're down there, give me a holler.
I definitely should. Yeah, awesome. That would be awesome.
Well, hopefully it picks up, and hopefully prices continue to go down, and we'll just keep checking at it. We'll keep looking and see how things are going. But gosh, we really appreciate your insight on it. Thank you so much.
Something will happen. The market always balances back
All
out.
It takes when it comes to the gun industry is some sort of weird event that makes people kind of do a little panicking, and then just boom, it's back on. So
yes.
It won't take much.
No, it really won't.
Usually some sort of election cycle can do that kind of thing.
That will definitely do it, as we have seen every 4 to 8 years, depending on what's happening and what policies are being made. Yeah, we've had some pretty good gun salesmen sitting in the president's seat, so
that's right.
I'm not gonna complain.
Some of the best. That's right.
Some of them have been really great at moving firearms, and the ones that you would expect to be really good at moving firearms,
not so much.
Not so much.
Yeah.
So I mean, we've seen recession cycles before. We'll see them again. It's no big deal. We're just here to ride it out.
That's right. We'll just batten down the hatches and hang on to that money as best you can.
Yep.
All right. Well, Maggie, thank you so much. We always appreciate you.
You're so welcome, Mark. Right. Thanks for hanging out. It's
Absolutely.
Always a pleasure.
One of my favorite places to hang out, of course.
Yay!
All right. Well, thanks, everybody. We'll talk to you next time.
Bye.